tried my hand at growing roses for the pretty stories they'd tell. Somewhere down the line, water slipped my mind, and all of my roses went to hell. I tried my hand at excavation to put down roots on the edge of the unknown. Well, I guess I learned it takes a firm foundation if you're looking to build a home. But I've walked in fields of moonlight where I'd lift my voice to sing all of my simple reflections, if that means anything. 70 years alive, 70 awakened, the single rose to show for all of this time. Yeah, well, lately I feel I've been mistaken, or I've crossed some kind of line when I tried my hand at resurrection. Maybe I didn't lay long enough in the grave, so you can add up all of my imperfections. Tell me if there's anything left to say. So I'll try my hand at getting older, where you leave most everything behind, like all of this weight I carry on my shoulders. I pray for a gentle decline, pray for a gentle decline, and I'll walk in fields of moonlight. I'll lift my voice to sing all of my simple reflections, if that means anything. I've walked in fields of moonlight where I'd lift my voice to sing all of my simple reflections, if that means anything. If all my simple reflections mean anything.
the books that I've been reading, they say exactly what they mean. They don't say they don't stutter, they don't mutter, they don't repeat themselves, they don't repeat themselves. They know exactly what they're doing, they know why. Who are these people? Where do they live? They have so much to offer, they have so much to give. Who are these people? What do they know that I don't know? Who are they? In the movies I've been watching, everyone's beautiful, unless they're ugly, and then they're really ugly, acting like it all makes sense to be doing what they do. They don't act anything at all like me and you. Who are these people? Where do they live? I haven't met them in my travels, never went to school with them. Where are these keen minds with their perfect sentences, calm and collected, so full of confidence? They're not sick unless they're dying, they don't watch too much TV. Their life's so action-packed that they may never get to sleep. Who are these people? What do they know that I don't know? Who are they? Recycled perfume pages of a glossy magazine, swim the random channels of remote control, run a music marathon on late night radio, a family photo album of the people I don't know. Who are these people? Where do they live? I haven't met them in my travels, never went to school with them. Where are these keen minds with their perfect sentences, calm and collected, so full of confidence? Who are these people? What do they know that I don't know? Who are they?
Good morning, everybody. So nice to have you here. Pretty soon we'll be seeing the leaves start to change outside this window, and hopefully we will be watching them from different perspectives than these virtual ones before too long. But in the meantime, it's really nice to connect with you here. It's nice to know that you're there. And it's nice, if you will, for you to interact in the chat as we go by on Facebook. Let us know you're there. Say hi to one another. Ask questions if you have them. We have Oh, Diana Teeters is supposed to be on this call. Okay, I think she's going to be our internet minder today, so she'll be letting you know what you might not know if she can find it. We have our regular crew taking a break finally. Isn't that great? So these services are done as live as they can be, and all of the glitches are intentional. This congregation, All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church Shreveport, is built on covenant, not creed. We're together on our promises of how we aspire to live in the world and to be with one another, even though we have differing paths and opinions. This is our challenge. This is our covenant. And whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us, you are always welcome. We front load the service a little bit with some information because we're trying to keep you plugged in as best we can through as many channels as we can. And I want to invite one of our board members, Amanda Lawrence, to share some announcements with you now, if she will.
It's getting better all the time. Getting so much better all the time.
That might be my very favorite transitional sound yet, and I've gotten to hear a few of them in the time that we've been doing this. Good morning, All Souls. My name is Amanda Lawrence. I'm here as a board member to share some announcements with you. I'm really excited to be able to start with a couple of in-person events that are happening coming up soon. This Saturday, October 30th, there are 2 different chances to get together with All Souls members in person. The first one happens at 3 p.m. It's a Samhain ritual. The Thistle Grove Druid Fellowship has invited us to join us in their ritual. This is a Celtic festival of the dead. It's the source of a lot of our Halloween traditions, but it's not exactly the same as Halloween. It's the turning of the year, a time for remembrance and reverence of the dead. It is a family-friendly ritual and everyone is welcome, but it's more of a solemn occasion as opposed to sort of an exciting Halloween celebration. It will include the speaking of the names of those who have died. You're invited to honor your own departed loved ones as you participate in the ritual. The ritual will last for about an hour. Masks are required, as well as distancing to the extent possible. So that's at 3 p.m. on Saturday. And then at 5 p.m. on Saturday is our trunk or treat DIY Halloween carnival in the parking lot at All Souls. Members and friends are invited to park their cars, decorate them as simply or elaborately as you like, pass out candy or maybe small toys for children who will go car to car. If you're feeling really ambitious, you could host a game or a simple craft. We'd love to celebrate an event together in person, while obviously being distanced, and of course masks are required, but we'd love to see lots of folks there. Even though we're finally getting to get together in person, we're also continuing the virtual events that we usually have. All Souls Religious Education was on a break this Sunday morning, but will resume next Sunday morning at 9 a.m. At that time, the group is going to sort of go over the anti-racism work that they've been doing so far and then decide how to move forward. Right after the worship service today will be our virtual coffee hour that is always after the service at around 12:15 or around 15 minutes after the service ends. On Monday night at 6 p.m., Reverend Barbara has her weekly Zoom pod meeting for folks to get together and check in with the community. Wednesdays at noon is the Zoom lunch. Susan Yellett is hosting this week. You can bring your lunch or not and hang out with folks in the middle of the week. At 10 p.m. on Friday is late night at the Salty Chalice, sort of an alternative to meeting up at a club or a pub or a coffee house. You can grab a beverage and hop on to spend some time sort of in a social gathering. And then on Saturday mornings at 10:30, Larry Andros, who you'll see in just a little while in the service if you don't already know him, hosts a meditation via Zoom. Now, that was a lot of information I just gave you about a lot of events, and you might not have gotten all of it written down. So let me just tell you a spoiler. You can get all of that information and more if you sign up for the weekly emails. In this week's weekly email, you would also have learned about our Give Away the Plate opportunity for October. This month, we've chosen to support Together Louisiana, specifically their Hurricane Ida relief. Together Louisiana is a statewide organization. North Louisiana Interfaith, which we are a part of, is a part of Together Louisiana. The board was looking for a way to specifically help folks who've been hurt by Hurricane Ida and might have been sort of falling through the cracks. So donations that are given to All Souls that are not marked as pledge donations will be sent along to Together Louisiana to help those most impacted by the hurricane, and also to work on systemic change, which should improve relief efforts in the future. If you want to contribute to this, you can send a check to All Souls. You can visit the All Souls donation page. That's a thing that maybe Diana will be able to put a link to in the chat below the service here in a few minutes. And the other opportunity we have for service, as always, is the Highland Blessing Dinner. Our all vaccinated All Souls are strongly encouraged to help with the Highland Blessing Dinner, which is back with in-person dining on Thursday nights from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at the Highland Center at 520 Olive Street. That's the corner of Olive and Highland. You'll need to be sure that you bring masks, they have gloves, and you'll need to show proof of vaccination on the first visit. So we've got a lot of exciting stuff happening here at All Souls, some of it virtual, some of it in person, and we would love to see you at as much of it as possible. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your Sunday.
Being good just won't be good enough. I'll be the best or nothing at all.
Now a word from our board president. You're muted.
Do that. There we go. Some things never change. I've been thinking about the word support lately. The definition of support is to bear all or part of the weight of something, to hold up, to keep something upright. I've been the beneficiary of support most of my life. The support of my parents and my grandparents, of my siblings and my teachers have been crucial to me. The support of my family, my friends, my therapist, and my church has sustained me in my adult life. They all kept me upright. They helped bear the weight of my sorrows and my failings. Sometimes the support was physical, sometimes mental, and sometimes financial. They kept me moving forward, onward and upward, so to speak. And it was always given with love and always encouraged my growth as a person. The other word I've been thinking about is money. I never shy away from talking about money. Money is really just a thing, like a sofa. I don't mind saying I've had great sofas and some pretty dilapidated sofas too. Sometimes I've covered my sofas with blankets because they had holes and lumps, and I've recovered them in pretty fabric and new stuffing when I could. Sofas offer support whether I'm light or I'm heavy. They support me because that's their purpose. A sofa is just a thing and really has nothing to do with who I am as a person. So why not talk about money the same way I talk about sofas? Money supports the ideas and principles that I cherish. Money supports the sanctuary and the people giving love and encouragement to us. We could fumble through this life on a shoestring, but for us to fulfill our purpose, we need to make this a better world, and that takes money. It's a simple fact. Without money for a building and ministers and pews and tables and coffee, how would we be able to support each other? I can't wait to drink coffee with y'all again on a future Sunday. How could we take our mission to the community without money for computers and stamps and printers and paper to make our presence known? How could our children be taught about our service in a tangible way without money for books and films and craft materials? Oh, we could do it on an old blanket and cover the holes and sit on the ground in a parking lot somewhere. But to make a meaningful difference, we need money. The same way I need money to enrich my life. Supporting this church is the biggest gift I give to myself, to each of you, and to the future. This is why I give. This is why I put this church in my personal budget every year. This is why I give responsibly, not to put myself in jeopardy, but to give what I can when I can. My purpose is to support, just like my couch. And I don't bear all the weight on my shoulders alone. I wouldn't want to, nor would you want one person to own this church. This church is a community, and together we support it. When we stand together, we're stronger. When we are stronger, we can make a difference, and the world becomes a better place. And this is our purpose. I know at some point in your life, you have received loving support too. How do I know this? You belong to this church. And if there are two things we do, it's supporting each other and others in the broader community who are in need. Thank you for your past monetary contributions. They have supported our spiritual growth and presence in the community. Let's keep our purpose of making this a better world by supporting all souls financially together as the pledge drive goes into progress. Be looking for information on the pledge drive and give as you are able. Thank you.
The search for perfection is all very well, but to look for heaven is to live here in hell.
Mixed messages I'm sending this morning. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Brittany, and thank you, Diana, and everybody else that's going to be a part of this service. I'm thinking that was probably your talk. Okay. We'll adjust as we go. Yeah, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you very much. I would invite you to take a few deep breaths. Actually, let yourself relax for a minute. Don't think there's a whole lot you have to do right this second if you're here. Be easy on yourself. Know that your best right now is exactly what you're doing. And let us enter a spirit of worship. And see, I thought we had a video there. Did I not send like one of those now? There is nothing you need to bring with you to be welcome here. No right beliefs or proof of citizenship, no eternal optimism or clarity of conviction, no boundless courage or endless expertise. You do not need to know what brought you here or how you will solve the problem you're turning over and over and over in your mind. Your bills do not need to be paid, and your checkbook can be a mess. Your children may have been up half the night. Your hearing aids may not be working, and your knees may be creaking. In the words of Anne Lamott, you do not need to be already perfect or even halfway to belong in this circle where grace meets us where we are, but does not leave us as it found us. Where love resides in each of us, yet is somehow more than all. Where life still pulses and rages and heals and transforms, creating us and this day anew once again. Here we promise no magic, no making it all better, but offer this circle of trust, this human community that remembers, though imperfectly, that sings and prays, though sometimes awkwardly, this gathering that loves, though not yet enough. We're still practicing after all, still learning, still in need of help and partners, still becoming able to receive all this beauty and all these gifts we each bring. Let us be in worship. Spirit of life, earth and sea and sky, place of deep longing in my heart. Help us see that we are neither the beginning nor the end, but something perfectly natural and imperfectly divine. Ultimate grace, the heart of every matter and every perfection and imperfection, in all senses and tenses, in moments of every right and wrong, presenting choices to inquiring hearts. You are in the purpose of the journey of mishaps. You are in moments of understanding and misunderstanding. We have but to seek and invoke you and enable the work of your Spirit. As prayer is but an articulated common dream, we invoke our ultimate concern for the work of faith. We long to be hand in hand, creating a world where everyone belongs. Free us from our hindrances. Make invisible things visible, the voiceless heard. Lay what is hidden before us. Make the chained unbound, the doubting believe. What is confusing, let clarify, as hardened hearts grow soft to the touch. May we come in fullness with gratitude and faithfulness to one another. May we speak in kind conversing, disclosing our truths with care, expressing our practical wisdom to learn of its practical limits. For the world was not meant to be possessed by a singular truth, but to be built together upon revelations. Universe with stars in your hair, you have shown that great things emerge from humble beginnings, no matter how flawed and lacking. May our eyes seek to appreciate our breaths to dedicate power, our hands to warm each other. When loving fearlessly, we are invincible. When free will is deliberate, we are pivotal. When dreaming together, we are infinite. There's a Children's Chalice Lighting Part 1 video.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart.
And I invite our helper, Noah Wagstaff, to do the second part of the first part of the chalice line.
Cool. All right. Together with minds, hands and hearts, we care for the earth and for each other.
Thank you very much. We call this light before us in hope that we may always remain strong community working together to make the world a better place. Golly, I haven't asked anyone to do our unison affirmation. Do I have a volunteer or should I do it? Okay. Please say it with us as you are willing and able. Get back in the habit. If you want to rise in body or spirit, please do that, because when we're back together, that's what we're going to be called on to do. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other.
Good morning, I'm Fred Jodry, the music director here at First Unitarian. Today we're going to sing Spirit of Life. I'll play it through once, and then we'll show you the words and the music so you can sing along if you feel inspired.
There's a story in old myths about Daedalus, who was a brilliant architect and inventor. In fact, he was so brilliant that King Minos of Crete didn't want to let him go back to his own home in Athens. Instead, he kept Daedalus as a prisoner. Daedalus lived with his son Icarus in a tower of the palace, and King Minos made him invent weapons of war that would make his army and navy even more powerful than they already were. Not Daedalus's favorite thing to do. Although Daedalus and Icarus had every comfort they could ever ask for, the father longed to return home to Athens. His son hardly even remembered his home city, but he too wanted to leave because he longed to run and play in the open rather than just live in a tower all day. Daedalus looked out over the walls of the Mediterranean Sea, and he realized that even they could manage to slip out over the tower. If they could manage to slip out over the tower and find a little boat, they wouldn't be able to sail away very far before they were spotted and caught by one of the ships of King Minos's navy. He thought for a long time about the best way to escape, and finally he came up with a plan, and this is what he did. He told King Minos that he needed lots of feathers and wax for a new invention that he was working on. So when these were brought to him, he took them up on the roof of the tower. Here he arranged them into 4 lines, starting with the smallest feathers, and followed those lines with longer ones until they formed gentle curves. He then began to stick the feathers together with thread in the middle and wax at the base. While he was working, Icarus played with the wax, squishing it between his fingers and thumbs. And when the feathers blew away in the breeze, he ran after them and as far as he could and caught them. When Daedalus had finished, he showed Icarus his work. He had made the feathers into 2 pairs of wings. He fastened the larger pair to his arms and began to flap them until his feet took off from the floor and he began to hover in midair. Icarus laughed with delight and could not wait to try out the smaller pair of wings. Over the next few days, father and son both practiced with the wings until little Icarus was almost as good at flying as his father. Then one morning, Daedalus said to Icarus, "Now, son, we're ready to leave this island for good. We shall fly home to Athens. Although you're now quite good at flying, you must not forget that it can be very, very dangerous. Listen to my instructions, please, and be sure to follow them to the letter. At all times, follow me, for I will find the way home. Do not veer off on a different flight path, or you will soon be lost. Do not fly too low, or your wings will get full of moisture and you'll sink into the waves. And if they become too heavy, you won't be able to swim. Now, should you fly too high, or the sun will heat the wax in the wings, and they'll fall apart. Have you understood all that I have said?" Little Icarus nodded to his father that he understood. Then, like a bird leading his fledglings from the nest for the first time, Daedalus jumped into midair and flapped his wings, and Icarus followed soon after. They were before they knew it, out over the sea. And over the seas they sailed, and at first Icarus felt frightened because he had never ventured this far out when they were doing their practice flights. But soon he found that he was getting really good at flying. He liked the idea of getting better. In fact, it was the most tremendous fun he could ever have. He began to swoop up and down with the seagulls. Wow, it was amazing. His father turned around and called, "Icarus, take care." And for a while after that, Icarus obeyed his father and flapped along behind him. But then his wings caught a warm air current, and he found he could soar along upwards almost without even any effort. This was so thrilling. He wanted more and more of that feeling. So, forgetting what his wise inventor father had said, he flew higher and higher and higher. His father called after him, "Icarus, remember what I told you? Come down now." But Icarus couldn't hear him anymore, no matter how hard he called. And as he got so far out of reach of his father couldn't catch up with him. Icarus flew far too close to the sun, and soon the wax that held his feathers together began to melt. Gradually, his wings began to lose their shape, and some of the feathers even began to fall off. Icarus flapped harder with his arms frantically, but it was too late. He had lost the power of flight, and down he plunged into the sea. Sometimes wanting more and more, or trying to make something get better and better, it costs us more than we think it will, and it costs more than it's worth. There's a rule that we hear about sometimes called the 80-20 rule. It talks about how 80% of the work gets done by 20% of the people, but it's also what we call diminishing returns on effort. Most of what we get done happens in the first part of what we're doing. And at a certain point, we can keep trying and trying and trying and trying to perfect something so that we're putting 80% of the effort into the last 10% of perfecting something. We have to be mindful when we start wasting time, or when we start wanting things to be so much better that we forget how good they are, that we're on our way to where we have longed to be for a very long time. Doesn't hurt sometimes to listen to your wise caretakers either.
Good morning. For today's meditation, let yourself find a comfortable position which your body can be balanced and your spine straight. Begin with a deep, comfortable breath, shifting your attention to your heart space, and imagine breathing in and out of your heart. Allow your breath to deepen and slow. Allow your breath to be soft and kind. As you center in this sacred moment, reflect. In my life, I have seen the inspired heights to which people's actions can rise. I have seen amazing expressions of excellence born of practice. I have seen creative beauty that brightens our collective experience. I have heard wisdom that resonates with the core of life. And I have felt the kind of compassion that brings peace and healing to the world. How I long to embody these qualities of beauty and excellence and power. How I long to be mindful and kind throughout my day. How I long to remain in mind states of courage and peace and joy. Yet, when I have struggled to achieve and hold these ideals, I have fallen and failed. In striving for courage, my heart will not drop its fear. In climbing towards light and beauty, I still find darkness within me. As I seek to be of service, I find unseen seeds of selfishness and separation. With every move toward peace, I find some conflict. As I give, I find my own tight grasping. As I create beauty and balance in one part of life, disorder arises in another. Encountering such flaws and disharmonies in my life, I have judged myself. My path through time is marred by flaw after flaw, falling short again and again. So often I feel discouraged. How can I ever reach the ideal that calls to me? How can I ever walk in beauty and joy? In this present moment, I turn within to the sacred wisdom of the heart. Here, a deeper knowing brings light to the path I walk. I have misperceived the flow of life. I have not understood the deeper roots of peace and beauty. What I have perceived as struggle between grasping and giving, light and dark, perfection and imperfection, fullness and emptiness, are but the rhythmic flow of change. As waves rise and fall, as season flows into season. Winter is not an imperfect attempt to be spring, but a season that gives spring its beauty. Listening deeply, I am not called to perfection, but to wholeness. I need only rest in the open space of heart that gathers all the parts of life into the wholeness they long to share. Let my heart open enough to embrace every mind state that comes and goes, courage as well as fear, grasping as well as giving. There I will find peace. Let my heart be kind enough to accept and allow the entire range of human experience. There I will find beloved community. Let my heart be wise enough to seek wholeness. There I will find the joy of life. It is in the wholehearted embrace of imperfection that beauty shines most perfectly. I share what I have and express who I am right now and trust the flow of life. In this moment, whole, complete, and full, I center in my breath. Breathing in, I touch the wholeness of all that is. Breathing out, I celebrate and express its beauty.
Barbara, you're muted.
Is there anything in your life that you can get a bit perfectionistic about? How's that working for you? Have you ever become so caught up in wanting things to be perfect that you kind of lost sight of what was good about it already? I don't know about you, but I know so many of you are in caring professions or volunteer almost full time to do things that are helpful to other people. And maybe you don't have the inclination to watch some of the news. But for me lately, watching the two houses of the United States Congress have a staring contest over infrastructure and reconciliation legislation have been awfully wearying. Then there are the individuals in one of those houses that are holding what feels like the entire country hostage in process. Negotiation may well still be happening, but brinksmanship over wanting things exactly the way this person or that lobby or special interests want them doesn't feel worthy of respect or cushy lifelong paychecks. It's playing with people's lives and letting the perfect, or maybe just what they consider to be better, be the enemy of the good. Now, while Voltaire and Shakespeare and Aristotle and Confucius all warn against making the perfect be the better of the enemy of the good, I only saw one quote from a familiar source that supported the opposite view, and it came from a business mogul, John D. Rockefeller, who at one time controlled 90% of all the oil and gas in America. He said, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." I can't help but wonder if that gamble is worth it when it involves the welfare of 332 million people. I like what Peter Maurin said. He, in 1933, was a co-founder of the Catholic Workers Movement with Dorothy Day. He said, "The world would be better off if people tried to become better. And people would become better if they stopped trying to become better off. For when everybody tries to become better off, nobody is better off. But when everybody tries to become better, everybody is better off." During World War II, a man named Robert Watson Watt, who developed early warning radar system in Britain to counter the rapidly growing Luftwaffe, he propounded what has been called a cult of the imperfect, which Watson Watt stated as, "Give them the third best to go on with. The second best comes too late, and the best never comes." I know there would be all kinds of arguments and discussion about this if we were in a group together. But I've been thinking about better being the enemy of the good lately because of stuff in the legislation and because of stuff in my own life. Someone I care a great deal about, and parenthetically I will throw in here that this person is my mother, and she would be horrified to know that I'm sharing this. But she's been struggling for a while now, trying to get back to what she has always understood to be her own way of living. Fiercely independent and meticulously private. I have also been unwilling to accept the possibility that she could not regain more of her independence, that the independence that she's always had, and has gradually in her 90s been losing a little bit, while at the same time fighting against allowing anyone to help her unless she expressly invites it and also recognizes that she needs it. Plenty of blind sides from every side to go around here. So a battle of wits between two particularly headstrong people has strung out over an extended period of time. It's been frustrating, it's been exhausting, it's cheated both of us out of how we might otherwise have spent that time, far more wisely and enjoyably. Because we both believed so steadfastly that things could be better. Things should be better. And each of us was convinced that we have known what the better is and how best to achieve it. This has been going on for a long time. At far too many places, we have been at each other because of it. And even so, recognition of how this fits the needed growth for each of our spirits, hers and mine, has been dawning on me ever so gradually, and begun at long last to give me a new light by which to see this relationship. Sure isn't my doing. Like Brené Brown said, imperfections are not inadequacies. They are reminders that we're all in this together. Yes, there are so very many things in this world that are tremendously unjust, unfair, unacceptable, and are worth working to make better. So many things that have been too long left in deplorable states. Of course, we ought, can, and will continue to work for change together, like Larry mentioned. We will support one another, like Sally mentioned. We'll look for opportunities to do our best, whatever that is in the moment. I remember the first time I heard in this congregation some words from John Wesley. Most of you probably know who that is, but he was an 18th century clergyman who was the leader of a bit of a revolution, I guess, within the Church of England that became known as Methodism. So John Wesley was quoted in this pulpit by a woman named Melissa Flournoy, and she said, "Do all the good you can." This is John Wesley also. "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. But let us not lose track of the goodness that is here." There is so much, and being part of a community that cares for one another is a big part of it. We have to look for the steps that we can take right now and not get so caught up in the things that we can't do now that we lose sight of that good. I will not give up holding on to the possibility for things to be better. But hopefully at this late date, I am learning to work a little bit harder. Like another one of our board members is really good at finding the positive where it is. Thank you. One, two, three, four.
There's no way to tell from here what only time makes clear. Elements far and near in play, opening up the wounds go deep. Lessons come free, but never cheap. All that we have is now, and if we wake somehow, past all the noise and dense debris, we'll find the picture more complete. Under the blunders we repeat. Oh, I get weary and my spirit gets low. Sometimes I admit I let the light go. I've got to do something to fill my soul back up. Get the dark emptied out and find my way back to love. Let nobody take your cool compassion's the guiding rule, and earth the guiding rule we share. The future will stretch out what you'll see. I'm holding the possibility with care. Oh, I get weary and my spirit goes low. Sometimes I confess I let the light go. I'm here on a mission to fill my soul back up. Get the dark empty out and find my way back to love. Nobody can take my place, lifting the human race over divisions, wasted time. I'll do all I can to be what mercy asks of me, and I'll carry home for all I see. I'm holding possibility.
In all of our perfect imperfection, longing for things to be better and doing what we can to make it so, We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are not perfect, but we are perfectly fitted for this day. We're not without fault, but we can be honest to face our past as we chart a new future. We are the ones we've been waiting for. May we be bold and courageous to chart that new future. May we have faith in a future that is not known. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Whether or not we feel ready or good enough, we are the perfect fit. Love y'all. Go in peace. Go with some joy and compassion. Namaste. Ashe. Blessed be. Amen.
We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are